Deep, incomprehensible silence. Space with no sun and no spinning planets, gleams, and something moved. Also, it wasn't stumbling around aimlessly like space junk. It also wasn't dancing in the direction of a comet. This was, in fact, movement with purpose. Not discovered by a cutting-edge, billion-dollar AI satellite observatory, but operated by a human's oldest and most insignificant messengers. To Voyager spacecraft that took off in the 1970s, operating now well beyond the edge of our solar system, have picked up something so bizarre and completely unexpected that scientists are currently questioning the very structure of astrophysics. Because Voyager didn't just observe a fluctuation. It captured a peculiarity, a traveling object or entity moving with a rhythm and intelligence that nature is not permitted to exhibit out there. So, which one is it? A bizarre anomaly? A new design of cosmic substance? Or could it be something fabricated? Let's dive into what Voyager 2 just saw and why this frightening discovery could alter everything we believed to be known about space. Voyager 2's instruments are primitive by current standards, relics of the analog era floating through digital age space. Yet, it was precisely one of these instruments, the plasma wave detector, that located the initial trace. It started as a pulse with a low frequency. After that, irregular flickers, directional shifts, and, lastly, a consistent pattern of movement. But here's the kicker, this detection did not originate within the solar winds or the heliosphere. Noise from gravity can cause turbulence. No, it was caused by the silence beyond, past the heliopause, into the space between stars where the setting is anticipated to be flat, featureless, and cold, similar to hearing a whisper in the middle of a desert. Immediately, scientists ruled out common explanations: no asteroid belts, no gravitational anomalies, no comets or dust clouds. Whatever Voyager 2 detected was moving, shifting direction, and changing its frequency as if conscious of its own trajectory and possibly aware of Voyager. Analyzing the data deeper revealed something even more alarming. The signal responded rather than simply moving. At moments when Voyager's orientation changed, the readings appeared to change too. Some scientists suspect feedback, as if it recognized it was being watched. The behavior mimicked that of a probe or drone scanning its environment, not a rock that is drifting. But this is where things get weird. There is no known propulsion system that can perform well in interstellar space, not chemical, not solar, and certainly not nuclear, without a clear energy signature. Yet, this object altered its motion without leaving behind any exhaust that can be seen or a radioactive trail. Even more perplexing were the signal modulations. Opposed to natural waves, which change depending on predictable mechanics, this pattern showed timed. Intervals, bursts of energy followed by silence, then another burst with just enough difference to suggest conceivable motive, a cosmic code, or something far stranger. Naturally, rumors of fabrication began to spread throughout the scientific community. Could it be that Voyager 2 had discovered an ancient structure or a blip in the void? Or perhaps a technology so advanced it defies our understanding of material science? One theory even suggests it might be a cloaked reconnaissance device, the interstellar equivalent of a submarine looking out of the water. However, speculation must contend with reality. If this is artificial, whose is it? It's far beyond any known Earth-made probe and destructured to be random debris. A number of astrophysicists proposed a more grounded, yet equally fascinating, explanation. Maybe it's a naturally occurring formation of plasma that created a feedback loop resembling a basic level of intelligence, a semi-conscious cloud responding to electromagnetic fields from the outside. But even that theory stretches current physics. It is evident that whatever Voyager 2 saw, it doesn't fit in our cosmic Rolodex of phenomena. This is the kind of detection that forces textbooks to be revised. And then there's the location. Voyager 2 is right now in one of the quietest zones of known space, the local interstellar cloud. This is a location where, because of the lack of matter, even a few atoms per cubic centimeter is considered dense. For something to move there and to do so with intention implies either generating its own energy or surfing on unknown interstellar currents. But more is coming. The path of this anomaly lacked straightness. It swung, dipped, and paused, but continued to move with a correction of course. If it were random, turbulence would not show such refined behavior. Some researchers are presently speculating that Voyager might have crossed through a field and area in space that changes when it is entered. Think of it as a cosmic sensor field where, upon entering, another feature is triggered. That being the case, then Voyager was not. Just observe something. It may have been activated, which is odd. And astronomers are both intrigued by that idea alone, ecstatic, and terrified. As more data came in, researchers started seeing a disturbing repetition. Within the movement data, especially the shifts in direction and strength of the signal, there were periodic occurrences. These were not erratic natural events. They followed a pattern that kept happening in clusters of prime numbers, 3, 5, 7. At first, the team dismissed it as data noise. However, when signal processing experts carried out extensive waveform analyses, they found harmonics consistent with structured transmission signals that echo what we've seen in experimental quantum communication. Consider that for just a moment. This was not merely some object moving. It was moving in code. Additionally, in physics, code appears where it should only reign chaos. Something or someone is trying to be noticed or is keeping track of another thing. In either case, it is extremely frightful. We've never seen anything like this from a natural source, nor has Voyager to ever reported the matter with similar comments. This was new, and more importantly, it was intelligent. What added to the mystery? Disturbing was a buried object in stored telemetry. When researchers compared the readings from Voyager 2 to those from previous long-distance missions like Pioneer 10 and New Horizons, subtle anomalies started to line up. New Horizons had experienced unexplained sensor difficulties in a region near Voyager's current position. Pioneer 10, now out of commission, had encountered decades of unaccounted trajectory drift a long time ago with no complete explanation. All of these occurrences had been recorded as insignificant or blamed on radiation interference. But now, viewed in context with Voyager 2's most recent encounter, a terrifying possibility emerged. This moving thing may not be novel. It was possible that it had been following us slowly, silently, from all the way to the system's edge, moving just beyond the range of observation and, finally, for unknown reasons, revealing itself. On day 49 of continuous monitoring, the object did something that sent an undeniable chill through every scientist watching. It stopped, not decelerated, not drifted, but came to a stop as if aware it had been completely found. Then, over the next 17 hours, it began a series of micro-movements that resulted in a squeezed spiral, resembling a figure identical to a pattern that we used to stabilize orbital observatories. The public might think that sounds random, but to engineers and physicists, it screamed calibration, as though the object were adjusting its position relative to Voyager 2 or to something else in the area. After that, a single, abrupt increase in low-frequency radiation, so precise it triggered a legacy safety feature of the Voyager protocols. In response, the probe realigned its dish and the signal stopped. As a result, there has been a theory, perhaps the object wasn't just detected. It might have been trying to communicate, and Voyager took action unknowingly. Global theorists are currently split. Some believe Voyager to has simply encountered an exotic interstellar particle cloud or a different kind of plasma-changing event. But a growing number of astrophysicists have suggested something far more extraordinary, that it's possible the object is a cosmic gatekeeper, a creature not a ship, but a living thing that was left in deep space to watch people move through a specific corridor of the galaxy. The patterns, the pulses, the adaptive behavioral seem designed to observe, to communicate, and possibly to evaluate. Some are even comparing it to von Neumann and other theoretical probes, machines built to observe societies as they develop technologically. If true, the implications are staggering. We are not alone. And more than that, we've been observed for far more time than we realize. It's possible that Voyager discovered something different. It may have crossed a line, walked past a sensor, and sparked an energy that had been dormant until now. So, exactly what did Voyager see in the most silent stretch of space we've ever explored? A drifting anomaly with patterns that make no sense. A disguised artificial probe that vanished into space. Or something much more thoughtful, a watcher, a sentry, a gatekeeper placed to monitor who dares to cross the edge of this cosmic territory. For many years, we believed Voyager was our lone ambassador, drifting aimlessly through the stars like a message in a bottle. Nevertheless, it now appears that message may have been received, and the response a flicker in the dark, a pulse, a change in direction caused by something that was never supposed to exist, perhaps something that was waiting. This isn't just a strange anomaly buried in data logs. This is a paradigm shift, a brand new chapter in human comprehension, reminding everyone that with our satellites and science, we continue to move in the dark. And now, something in that darkness has turned to look at us. If Voyager just came into contact with something there, then the silence of space may not essentially remain silent. And that raises the question, it's no longer what we've found, but what follows. If this hit you and shaken your idea of reality, hit the like button. Subscribe for more discoveries that bend the rules of science, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when the next message comes from nowhere. Because space has just refocused and the universe is no longer oblivious to us.